Here we are at the Thomas Hott Alumni Association to interview Kun Ada. To introduce myself first, I'm Robert Wilson, or known as Bob. I'm American. I've lived in Bangkok for 25 years, was hired by Dr. Narit, who is the current chairman of the Special Olympics Thailand. It was initially a 6-month contract, and I'm still here, and I am an avid follower of the Special Olympics of Thailand. Ada, we have met on early occasions, and I know very little about you, and I think it's time that others and myself learn more about your background. There's a very large generational gap between you and I. You may be the youngest person in this room and this event today, and I'm probably the oldest, so we have quite a gap between us. But yet we're talking about a common subject that is of interest to everyone at all age ranges. First of all, can you tell me a bit about your education, or primarily your family background first?
Well, there are 5 members in my family, which is my mom, my dad, my grandma, my brother, and I. My brother actually is studying abroad, but due to COVID-19, he's back in Thailand with us.
And what schools have you attended here in Thailand?
I've attended Rumrudi International School ever since when I was in kindergarten, and now I'm currently in grade 10.
And as an ambassador for the Special Olympics, you are the lead singer in a very popular music video that was produced by the Special Olympics of Thailand, affectionately known as Silent Heroes. And I myself personally fell in love with that song. It speaks well for it, and your voice is so intriguing and well developed. With over 1 million views, you should be very proud of that. And how did you become initially connected to the Special Olympics of Thailand?
I had a chance to meet with Dr. Narit, and he invited me to help out with Special Olympics. And in one of the occasions, I met the athletes, and I was so inspired by them, and I really wanted to help out with Special Olympics.
What is it about the athletes that, in their involvement, how is that rewarding to you to observe that and see the rewards that are returned to them?
Well, they're always really happy. When they accomplish something, they're really, really happy, and I just see that, and I really like that.
And your English, I assume, was learned through your school at Rumrudi, is that correct? Okay, I'll answer that question for you. We also have to credit Ben Tufnell, who was the producer of the Silent Heroes video, and he wrote that from beginning to end, or composed it from beginning to end over a period of about 3 hours. And that was quite an accomplishment on his part, and I think he's pretty proud of it as well. Your voice has a bit of a country western twang to it, and twang, that sounds like slang, but it is a word that is used in the music industry, and it refers primarily to country western, perhaps unique to the United States country western music. Have you ever been told that before?
Not really, but that might be possible because I've been listening to more Western songs recently.
I believe you have a talent that appeals to an international audience and an English audience, of course. And I have a number of friends who I sent that video to, and they all responded very positively. One happened to be a very recognized voice critic in the United States, and she had a very positive reaction to your voice and your range. What has been the impact of COVID-19 on you and your family?
Some of the impacts was mainly educational and just a small change in habit. We started wearing masks, took more safety measures, and I also did online learning for school during the first outbreak. But I actually consider my family one of the lucky groups of people because there are so many more other people who have been affected by this pandemic.
What was your reaction to performing in this music video with Bright and Win? There was 3 of you in the video. Bright and Win are currently very popular here in Thailand as being prominent television actors. You haven't quite reached that status yet, although maybe you aspire to, but yet you were performing at that level. What was your reaction to working with them?
I was really happy that I got the chance to work with them, and I also had this slight pressure that I had to do as well as them because they're really good.
In my opinion, you did as well, if not better than them. Okay. Win happened to be a current student at the Faculty of Economics at Thammasat, and in the same program that I worked in and taught in, but a number of years before his time there. The book by Dr. Narit, titled Special Olympics Thailand Then and Now, is in the process of being published in both Thai and English versions. And Dr. Narit, who again has been with the Special Olympics Thailand for 20 plus years, has written a very comprehensive encyclopedia-oriented book on Special Olympics, international and Thailand. So that book portrays you and Win and Bright and others in more detail than what we can possibly go into here. So I hope you and everyone else gets a chance to read that book within the coming months. Do you have any questions for me?
What was your experience with the Special Olympics Thailand?
I started with Dr. Narit about 10 months ago, helping in various ways where I could, primarily with English-related tasks, and I've also helped him in the editing of the English version of the book, which his initial writing was in Thai language, and he had several people, including myself, assisting him with the editing of that book. And that will be available next month.
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to ask?
Nothing else.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, Ada, for your time
Thank
today,
you so much.
and enjoyed talking to you.
Overcome obstacles everywhere. Did the best I could to prepare.